Hi everyone. Many people would like to know how their money is spent each month. In this project, we will build a simple expense tracker that automatically calculates spending and helps you stay organized. So let's get started. I'll first make the table structure. I'll have date, I'll have category, description, amount. So this way you can put your expenses for the month. I'll just center the heading, I'll make it bold. Borders. You can increase and reduce the cell width and double click to automatically adjust the cell width. So this way you can add your expenses in this table. The amount, instead of general, will change the format to currency. So Excel automatically puts the rupee currency symbol. I'll apply this formatting to the other cell also. Use the format painter. You can increase or decrease the decimal using these icons. I'll leave it at 2 decimal places. So I'll add a few more entries. I'll just add more dates. I can select these two and then I double click it, so it will automatically fill the data. This is autofill technique. So let's say this is the sample data, and these categories we can put in a drop down list. Let's see how to do that. At this point, I would like to say that if you're liking the video, please subscribe to our channel. So to add a drop down, what we need to do is go to the cell, data tab, and then data tools part. There you will see data validation. Click on that, select data validation. Here by default it says any value. We'll change it to list so that we can allow the user to pick from a drop down. Once you select the list, you need to provide it the source. What should the drop down contain? I'll go to source. I have created another sheet where I have put the categories. I'll select the range. I'll say enter. So in the source it is saying pick from category sheet and this is the range. Say OK. And you see there's a drop down here. I click and I'll say I want food. I'll delete all these values. I'll drag this or double click so that copies onto the other cells. Now each of this is a drop down. Just go and change the values. So now I've selected the right categories for each of these expenses. So this is how you add a drop down to your data. So every time you have to add a new expense, select the appropriate category from the drop down and then you enter the expense. I've added a few more entries in this table. So next we'll do some criteria based calculations. So here's the summary section. Here we'll add up the total expenses under each of these categories. So we'll use a SUMIF function for that. So I'll say SUMIF. First I'll find the total expenses for food. Food is in this column, so I'll give the range. Within that I'll say I'm looking for food. And once you find the match, I want Excel to sum this column. So wherever food is there, find the corresponding amount and add it up. So food appears 2 times 250 plus 80 is 330, so this is correct. Similarly, we'll do it for the other categories as well. I'll copy this formula to the other cells. I can do that by double clicking on this black cell, but before that I need to lock the cell, because if I straight away copy, Excel will move these references. So I need to first lock. It fixes the range. Now if I double click this black plus, just copied the formulas, but I need to change the food to transport. Transport is 500, which food becomes bills, becomes education. So this gives you the summary of the expenses. Next I'll create a monthly budget section. So let's say budget for the month is 10,000. I'll make it a currency. Next we'll find out our actual expenses. So for that I'll do a sum of all these numbers. I'll make that a currency as well. So I have the budgeted amount, I have the actual amount, so I'll find out the difference. Budget minus actual, it gives the difference. So we still have 4,270 rupees left for this month. I've just introduced the concept of simple budgeting. Next I'll introduce the concept of conditional formatting. Basically in these expenses, I'll highlight the cell if the expense is above a particular amount. So I'll select the range of cells within amount. I'll go to conditional formatting, which is under home tab. I'll say highlight cell rules. Highlight the cells which has values greater than, I'll say 800. So any expense which is greater than 800, you mark it with red color. marks these two expenses because it's greater than 800 rupees. Similarly, I can ask Excel to make this cell red if the balance goes negative. I'll go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. If the value is less than 0, make it red, but it is not less than 0, so it won't turn it red. I'll increase this expense. Instead of 1000, I'll make it 11,000. You see hashes here because suddenly there are more digits and the space is less. So what I do is I'll just double click this so that it widens the cell and shows the value. So when I change the value to 11,000, increase the total expenses and the difference turned negative, and because of the rule, Excel makes this cell red. So this is how you can use conditional formatting to highlight important values. Next, we'll create a chart to see where most of our money is going. We'll make the chart based on these values. I'll select the range, go to insert. Now you can make a bar chart or a pie chart. Just select a bar or a column chart. So you see most of the money went on shopping. You can even make a pie chart to show this. I'll select the data, say insert, I'll make a pie chart. So you see major expense is on shopping, gray color is shopping. I think we'll stick to the column chart. Data label. So in the chart you can clearly see where most of your money is going. We filled only for a week, so when you fill data for the entire month, probably you will see most of the expenses going under shopping and food, maybe transport. It depends on where you live and your lifestyle. So this is the final dashboard view. So you see a summary of your expenses, how much money is going to each of these categories. You also see the total amount spent. You also see the budget remaining, how much money you left for the month. In the chart you can clearly see how you're spending based on categories. Now if I add a new row, everything should update automatically. So for 2nd March, I'll insert a row. I'll add the same thing here also. Food is 330 initially. Food updates to 410. Actual expenses and differences change. Food shows 410 in the chart. So everything, your expenses, your difference, the chart values, everything updates automatically. So that's all in this video. We saw how to enter data, how to do formatting, currency formatting. We used SUM and SUMIF, which is criteria based calculation. We did data validation by creating a dropdown. We used conditional formatting to highlight important values. We made chart and we did basic budgeting. If you like the video, do subscribe to the channel. It helps us produce useful videos like this. Thanks for watching.